Hi, my name is Valentine Rangel. I'm playing Dodgy slash the Duchess slash the Too Many Mocks turtle in Alice by Heart. So the roles that I am playing in this show are Dodgy, the Duchess, and the mock turtle. The last one's a bit more minor than the rest, but as for Dodgy and the Duchess, they very much, well, Dodgy in the real world is simply Dodgy. He's a bit fey, very dramatic, very irascible, I would say. And then that is reflected in the Duchess as being this almost a personification of injustice in Alice's mind, and very specifically the cruelty of aging and time moving forward, regardless of whether you want it to or not. The Duchess is specifically introduced as being skipped over by Alice in the narration, and so she is extremely angry and distraught when this happens because she feels the most personally wounded by Alice's growing older, as she's lost basically everything, as she describes it, which you'll have to come see the show to find out specifically what she's talking about. And so the Duchess is very much angry and bitter and also very sad and just kind of this distorted figure of what she once was. And much like Alice, very much desperately wants to get back to that while knowing full well she can't. My favorite moment in this production so far has probably been the scene right before we get into my number with Alice, just because it's so over the top. It's wonderful, it's delightful. There's elements of farce in it, there's like the physical comedy, there's the over-the-top vocal performance that I give to it, and it's very fun to act. Working on this show is definitely a lot more ensemble heavy than other productions I've been on, just because other productions I've been on have been a very distinct line between main cast and chorus or ensemble members. But this show is very different in the sense that everyone is a part of the ensemble, and all of that movement revolves around the entire cast being involved. And yes, there are moments when certain characters will be distinct from the movement, but they are still a part of it in the same time. How do I balance my academic responsibilities with my theater commitments? I cut out the middleman and basically don't have a social life is how I choose to do it. I overcommit to both, and then, like at the end of the show, I'll take like 5 minutes and have my little mental breakdown, and then I'll get right back into the next one. So that's how I handle it. Children, do not emulate my behavior. Learn from what I say, not from what I do. Please find work, school, life balance. That is important. But yeah, no, I fully I go into rehearsal, I give it my all, I rehearse at home, then I do some schoolwork, and then I go to sleep. How do I handle the pressure of performing in front of an audience? That is a great question. I basically lock myself out of the equation. When I go on stage, I am fully just my character at that moment. I leave myself backstage so that I can bring everything I can to the stage, because I am an extremely anxious person, and if I try and bring any of that real anxiety with me for anything, say when I was in one production, I was supposed to be playing this very anxious, timid character. I couldn't bring any of my actual anxiety to that, because the moment I did, it would just kind of break down the character and things got too real. So my best method of controlling that level of I'm in front of an audience, there's pressure to perform, is to just think, all right, Val can take a back seat and it's time for the character to come forward. I chose Sinclair because, first of all, it was the closest college to my house at the time, and second, because I had been accepted to Wright State, but Wright State expensive, and I realized that by doing this with the scholarships that I have, I can then use the Wright Path program to transfer over to Wright State, and my college will be fully paid for the next 2 semesters that I'm there, basically getting my bachelor's degree. So I chose Sinclair out of both convenience and planning for the future. I also think that, Sinclair's theater department is just, quite frankly, lovely and very criminally underrated. Were I to be able to play any character in the show other than Dodgy slash the Duchess, I would choose either Alfred, aka the White Rabbit, or Harold Pudding, aka the Mad Hatter, because there is something about that character type to me. It's this broken character who is just an inch away from like fully shutting down. We see it in Alfred in a more subtle sense, in the fact that he is going through the 5 stages of grief, according to the Kubler-Ross model, like genuinely going through it. And it's a proper application because Alfred is the one experiencing the stages of grief over his own death, which is what Kubler-Ross was originally studying. And we see it in Harold Pudding in the sense that he's been pushed beyond the edge. He has been fully broken down by his experiences in the war, and then having to come home to the Blitz. It's just, in someone with PTSD, that is kind of like the final nail in the coffin, and you see this very sad portrayal of the Mad Hatter compared to what you would typically see in an Alice in Wonderland production, whereas normally he's this very like jovial, festive, like energetic, like comically mad character. Here instead he's this angry, resentful, sad, mourning figure who describes in one of his moments with Alice seeing his comrades die, and he has to phrase it as a joke because he is the Mad Hatter and that's what people expect from him. Just, there's something so compelling about that kind of a character to me that is just fascinating to watch and play. People should come see our production of Alice by Her because it's gonna be amazing. Like, I mean, we've put so much work into this, we've got so much talent on it. Our wonderful Kimberly Borscht is directing, and she is incredible. We've also got our amazing Tracy Puckett-Knight assistant directing. We've got our wonderful stage manager, Sarah Kaplan. Like, we've got the dream team here. Come on, come and see it, please. We've put so much work into this.
Car or truck?
Car.
Bus or train?
Train.
Paperback or ebook?
Paperback.
Summer or winter?
Winter.
Country or city?
Country.
Broccoli or green beans?
Broccoli.
Beach or mountains?
Mountains.
Toilet paper, over or under?
Under.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Morning or night?
Night.
Baseball or volleyball?
Volleyball.
Credit or cash?
Cash.
Tacos or wings?
Tacos.
Shower or bath?
Shower.
Football or basketball?
Basketball.
Sneakers or boots?
Boots.
Cake or pie?
Cake.
Ice cream cone or dish?
Dish.
Call or text?
Text.
Sausage or bacon?
Vegetarian.
Oh!